Making another video. Yeah, yeah, it's a good reason, I think. So anyway, I was watching part of this video, Antinatalism, Not Ephilism, which, you know, I would claim is just a huge logical error. So there's some other video for me to get to, too. Some other guys saying talking some kind of shit. You know, this guy here, the Epiphany found. Yeah, whatever. That ought to be funny. Anyway, so this guy, I mean, just this premise is, you know, kind of useless. Anyway, so it's related to this conversation between this guy and that guy, right? So this guy, whatever, solo chess guy or whatever he is, yeah, I find him a little bit annoying. This guy is the other guy, so he's making the rational argument. Sentience is sadism. Yeah, well, it's kind of weird. Anyway, people have weird channel names nowadays. Anyway, kind of like the old days where you had to have one word kind of a thing. Anyway, so it comes up now and then. You know, people just find this idea that you can eradicate life preposterous or insane or crazy, blah blah blah. And no, it's not really. It's a very delicate balance of chemistry that, you know, makes the planet and all inhabitable. The original life infested Earth was completely a different chemistry, and if you took the organisms of today and put them in that chemistry, they wouldn't survive. And so whatever. I'm just saying, you know, yes, changing the physics is not that difficult. There's no limitation to the size of a nuclear bomb you can make. It's just a truth. And you can just make it inhospitable for living things on planet Earth. Now, the real point, I would argue, is that all you have to do is go back to before neurons. So if you can wipe out everything with a neuron, you've pretty much guaranteed the end of sentience. Because I don't think neurons happen. It's unusual chemistry. It's an unusual development in the history of life on Earth. And there was no other parallel road to sentience except the creation of neurons. So those life forms are fundamentally very delicate, the ones that have neurons. Neurons are by function and form not durable cells. So, not a big deal. And look, the whole point would be is this is not even part of the equation people have to even think about. The first step is to neutralize the human problem. Have your fair democratic determination that life doesn't really have a function, that it's basically a malicious act of cruelty to do experiments like Dr. Frankenstein. You're just recognizing that Dr. Frankenstein is an egomaniacal crazy fuck, and you just don't let him do whatever the fuck he wants. That they're basically Mengele type experiments that you can't control, and it's very it's aggressively obnoxious to presume for your creation that it wants your signature written on its asshole. I don't want your signature on my asshole. I don't think you're competent to make a proper me, to tell me what the standards of a great living thing are. I don't think this is good enough, not even close to good enough, as a form of life. We kind of suck as a form of life, and certainly our psychology sucks. It's just eat and fuck. It's really not very complicated, and it's really, really sucks. I win because I made losers. That's really stupid. So yes, the human game is well over, but the human game is only a tiny, tiny, tiny sliver of the game that's being played with sentient beings on Earth. And to think you can solve the problem by saying, well, let's just get rid of humans so only the chimpanzees have polio. That's not a solution. It's not even close to a solution. It's so far away from a solution that it just can't be categorized as anything close to an answer or a good idea or any of that shit, because it just doesn't solve any real problem. Human suffering is just the teeniest little drip in the bucket. So go ahead, be an antinatalist, and just basically write on your head, failure, loser. I intend to do nothing productive, because it just won't get the job done. If you care about suffering, humans are not the poster child for it. It's only our own human ego that we think we are the definition of it. It's just the truth. So anyway, so he's got these opposition points, so it took him a while to get to it. So he's basically an antinatalist. He did the reckless reproduction thing, had sort of a semi-catastrophe, you know, an autistic child, really blah blah blah, realizes, oh yeah, this is a stupid game, and so now repents that decision, but apparently takes it no further than personally stating, gee, I realized having kids is a bad idea, but I certainly wouldn't tell anybody else they can't. Or something like that. It's just, sorry, too useless.
I'm not going to delude myself into thinking.
I like the style of this video. It has a real 1956 feel. It's like he's using a camera with a flipper on it or something. It's just, I like it. I mean, sincerely, I like it. It has a retro feel to it.
That atlaism can never succeed. For two reasons. First reason is DNA. It's a very powerful molecule.
Again, says you. Powerful compared to what? Gold nuggets? It's not powerful. It's in fact very vulnerable and very delicate. It's the whole idea of this it's a big giant protein molecule, and it can be incinerated. It's not going to survive lava, okay? And I'm just saying that, you know, the physics exists to create, you know, an ambient temperature on Earth of 600 degrees. It's there to take advantage of. Even if you just use greenhouse gases, you could suffocate the DNA molecule off of the planet Earth.
It's in us all, the drive to continue. People.
Well, again, it's not a drive to continue, it's a drive for comfort, okay? So again, this is, you know, just another perversion. Yes, the mechanism tricks us, okay? It makes us feel good doing stupid things. But feeling, again, the drive is merely one of satisfied deprivation and desire, okay? You don't really, you know, there's nothing rational that leads you to the idea that taking a shit is a good idea. It's the biology that makes shitting comforting.
Fuck. Young people particularly want to fuck.
You know, that's really profound and brilliant. But obviously, even young people can understand what a condom is. They can understand the relationship between sex and reproduction. And I would argue that most people on Earth have that knowledge. That most people engaging in intercourse do, in fact, have the knowledge that condoms exist. They have some knowledge that penises and vaginas does create babies sometimes. They have some knowledge of this reality. Now, the animals don't. But I'd say 99% of the human beings engaging in intercourse have some knowledge, some information, some vague idea that penis and vagina is the way babies is made.
And when they fuck, they're not thinking about having children, they're just thinking about fucking.
Right, and they're not thinking about it because no one's making them think about it to take responsibility for it. No one is suggesting to them this is the biggest, most molestative kind of decision you can possibly be making, the creation of a living thing. You're playing motherfucking God, and do you have any qualifications whatsoever? Have you prepared for this activity? Have you built a fucking nest? Even a fucking bird spends a whole lot of time building a nest before it lays eggs. So can you measure up to even a dumbass bird? Can you have a bird's brain and figure out that before you make a baby, you got to make a world for the baby to live in?
Well, that leads to babies. Religion.
Religion, I don't know what this has to do with. This is an obstacle to ephilism? No. Religion as an existing thing is just a symptom of stupidity. Right now, if you do something to educate people, and again, if you impose some sense of responsibility, as we as civilized people, you know, instead of filling our B-1 bombers full of malicious fire and death, if we filled them full of propaganda pamphlets and dumped them on the dumb heathens, and said in those pamphlets these simple themes that, you know, this is the world, the human race, you're a representative of the human race. You're humiliating us with your stupid delusions. Don't you understand that your belief in Mohammed is just as silly as somebody believing in leprechauns? You're making us look really, really dumb, and you're making our civilization turn to shit. Don't you want to regain the integrity and beauty that your people once had as scientists and navigators and clever people? Now you're imbeciles. Do you like being an imbecile, you motherfucker? Yeah, if we drop those bombs, we might get somewhere. But, you know, dropping fire and death is just stupid.
Namely, Catholicism.
Well, again, the Pope is getting lamer and lamer with each rendition of him. Okay, he's looking more and more like just a fat child molester and shit. So I really don't think Catholicism is all that big a fucking threat if the intellectuals would quit placating it and licking its ass and instead say, hey, fuck you Catholics, like the Muslims and like the fairy princess believers and the Twinker Bellyites and the fucking other people believing in fucking cartoons and delusions. If you hear somebody's Catholic, you should just say to their fucking goddamn face, as an honest intellectual, man, you're a dumb motherfucker, aren't you? You deluded, stupid lunatic. What fucking evidence do you have that your Pope is goddamn representing God anyway? Does he look like a representative from God? Don't you think a representative from God should be a little more impressive than some fucking babbling lunatic who wears $10,000 slippers? For fuck's sake. I mean, it's like the Pope hasn't even read the fucking Christian Bible. It's like he hasn't even read the New Testament. You think Jesus, if Jesus could actually show up, would be impressed by the Pope's $10,000 slippers? Do you really think so? I mean, Catholics can't be any dumber. So again, they should be hit with pamphlets. Big, giant, rolled up, heavy ones. So the intellectuals just have to get out of their little weaselly, wimpy, fuck you, I'm not going to cause any trouble, I don't want to offend anybody. Well, offend the fuckers!
On this planet...
I mean, you could at least fart in their direction. I mean, the minimum you can do, you know, is properly salute the Catholic when you see one. Save up a little gas bomb.
There are 1.2 billion Catholics.
So what? There's 2.3 billion Mohammedites. Again, the disease is simple. This isn't like a genetic disease. It isn't even like your daughter's autism, shithead. This is fully correctable. Okay? Human stupidity is fully correctable. It takes just a little bit of a fucking goddamn... You don't even have to kick him in the nuts that goddamn hard. But you do have to say... No, you're not fooling me, liar. I know you don't believe in this goddamn God because you're fucking your neighbor's wife and you're fucking molesting 17-year-old girls at the local pub. So fuck you, you lying cunt. Don't pretend to me you believe this shit, you liar.
When I say a billion, I mean a million times a million. That's a billion.
No, it isn't. It's 1,000 million. So you got that one wrong. Bad math.
Billion. That's what we in the United Kingdom call a billion.
Well, then you're retarded in the United Kingdom because that's not a billion. I didn't know that the United Kingdom got billion wrong. A billion, I mean a million would be a trillion. So the United Kingdom calls a trillion a billion? I have to go figure out what the, so when they say they have a $22 trillion deficit, they really mean it's zillion? Oh, you're really bankrupt then.
In America, they say it's 1,000 times a million. But I'm talking about the British version of billion.
I had no idea you couldn't, I mean, not getting aluminum right, and not getting twat correct, and, you know, a few others, you know, who cares, right? But you didn't get billion right? Fuck. Well, you know, I have had my suspicions. There must be a lot of lead in the British Isles.
Catholics oppose abortion. Catholics promote the production of children.
So what? Again, this is not, in my opinion, this is not what you call a non-starter. The idea that Catholic delusion is a correctable illness. Okay, it's a correctable illness. All religion is correctable illness. I think quite obviously. I mean, it just requires, like, again, these are just sheeple, okay? You want to talk about it, that's the real word you use. I mean, religious dolts, and that's what they are, they're just dupes. They are the definition of a sheeple. I mean, when you fall for a fucking 2,000-year-old fairy tale and think it's real, I mean, that, you can't, you know, that's like the biggest sucker word you could write on their little fucking head, right? I mean, fuck, stupid fuck, or what? And it's even a silly goddamn story. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. You go to heaven without your penis or the women you've loved. And do what? Make new friends with boring people? Without a penis. Fuck that. So the fact that they buy this nonsense, this absolute drivel, I mean, means they're really dumb. And just as you know, I mean, you've probably, you know, your daughter probably painted these paintings. So, you know, the autistic they can be edumacated. And, yeah, the Catholics just need a little bit of edumacation. Yeah. By kicking them in the nuts.
The combination of that and the DNA molecule.
Right, stupidity and penises equals trouble. I understand that, but I'm just saying it's not that big an obstacle. It really, come on. You know, you really think it can't be overcome. You really think that human beings are just inevitably stupid, that they have to be stupid. And I'm just saying they don't. I mean, the truth is, the caveman 200,000 years ago, right? A real dumbass, and he was only dumb because he wasn't educated. And the fact that we have allowed human beings to be miseducated by irresponsible, child-abusing parents, you know, that's correctable. But the only way it's going to get corrected is the people who are smart enough have to sit there and get organized and say, look, we're not going to let idiocracy win. We're going to stop idiocracy. We're going to tell the dumber people they're too stupid. They need to be put on a leash because they're reckless, irresponsible, motherfucking morons. And they just don't have license to do whatever the fuck they want.
Straight away makes the end.
Especially if they're welfare whores.
Wish of ethicists totally impossible.
Well, again, I see no impossibility. Humans can be migrated to any kind of culture, as is demonstrated on the earth every goddamn day. And all we have to do is change the dynamic of winner and loser. All we have to do is change what gets rewarded and what gets punished. And being an asshole should be a liability. It should be discouraged. But until people wake up and, you know, this, again, it's the smart, lazy, smart people who are the real problem. They're just too lazy to do their job, which is manage the retards on the bus. And that's how they can be defined. They're going to have to quit, you know, playing luxury games and video games and whatnot, and they're going to have to take the seat, the driver's seat, and you know, navigate.
I don't need to talk about anything else. I don't need to go into any other reasons. I don't.
Yeah, you do. Look, like again, the plant Earth has had all kinds of cultures that don't even exist anymore because civilization showed up and the people in those cultures decide, hey, this life sucks. I'm I'm going to live in civilization. Yeah, some of them were just annihilated out of their existence, but some of them freely chose to become civilized. They liked it better. And that's all we have to do is just reward the right kind of behavior. And as long as we keep passing out welfare checks for doing exactly the wrong thing, which is recklessly abusing a child by having one when you're not prepared to take care of it, as long as we give people a fucking monetary reward for that, yeah, you're not going to get the right result. So you have to start paying them to get sterilized, and then you'll get the right result.
Need to go to Hip Holiday's channel and try and understand what he's talking about. I don't need to ask Luddite.
Hip Holidays? I guess he was talking. I guess that's holidays he was saying.
Returns, who speaks a foreign language. I don't need to talk to the amazing atheist, who's a bit of a prat. I don't need to get into a discussion with Thunderfoot, who's one of the most eminent scientists on the web.
Oh my God. That's almost a bizarre statement. No, it's not. No, it is a bizarre statement. I mean, eminent scientist, how? I mean, what exactly qualifies somebody to be called an eminent scientist on the web? He does silly videos ragging on teenage girls not having rhetoric up to his standards. He harvested honey in a video, and then the rest of his videos are devoted to blowing up whatever, lithium hydroxide or something. Blowing little pieces of chemistry up. But that's an eminent scientist in your opinion? Well, then you're retarded.
Apparently, I don't need to know anything about science, but I know that this thing...
Well, whatever. I think you do need to know, and that's your failure, is that you don't really understand that human psychology and even human intelligence is something that happens through maturation and development. And maturation and development, the atmosphere, the environment that children are reared in is completely under our control as a civilization. We can define that circumstance.
Atheism is a joke. It is impossible. It cannot happen.
Says you, without any evidence of this cannot happen. Again, human beings can have any kind of perspective. And all I'm arguing is that they should have a logical and rational one. Now, if you want to explain how it's not logical or rational to recognize the fundamental mechanism of the biology of life on Earth that just makes feeding machines, basically, and that it has no other sensibilities, no other standards for success or failure, but how effectively you consume to reproduce, go ahead and make that argument, but you're not making a rational argument. You're just pontificating and saying, I declare it impossible for human beings to be logical. Fuck you. I don't think so. I would claim my own existence as evidence of that. The fact that I knew religion was bullshit as a 7-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, and then I knew, just looking at the biology I saw around me, that this game I was involved in was stupid and unproductive. Animals eating each other didn't make any sense, and nobody made it make any sense with any kind of rational statement. God only knows. That's a rational, do you think that's a rational answer to a question? Why does, and God only knows. What?
Sorry, but you're wrong. What I promote and what I propose in life is that we deal with the problems that exist on this planet for sentient beings.
Yeah, whatever, Band-Aids. Okay, you propose we make a bunch of Band-Aids and never stop any of the injuries from happening in the first place. Well, I think that's just plain stupid.
That may include encouraging people not to have children.
Right, and that does absolutely nothing for all the animals in nature who are being tormented and tortured every single fucking goddamn day. So again, you're just being kind of Mengele from my perspective and just saying that I'm an elitist human. I only recognize suffering in human beings, and I therefore will say the problems that need solving are only human problems. Fuck you.
It may include...
And again, your solution is, let's all knit more Band-Aids. Stupid solution. Let's make more water filters. Let's not stop pissing and shitting in our water. No, let's just make more filters. Stupid solution.
Encouraging the use of rubber johnnies. It may include educational programs. It may include encouraging people to think outside of religion.
Well, there you go. Frankly, if you just do those things 100% with a 100% effort, then you've already done the job. I would only argue that my solution is exactly on that road. Those things are exactly what you do to get to my end. So, thank you for making my argument for me. If you do it badly, yes, then you won't succeed. I'm just saying if you walk that road all the way to the end, you'll get to where I'm saying is paradise.
So, in other words, encouraging people to be atheists. It may also include encouraging the use of assisted suicide.
Well, again, a minor issue. I mean, that solves present issues. It doesn't stop people from having children. It doesn't do any of that. So, yes, I say I'm all for it, but frankly, it's not the solution to the problem. And again, you know, I don't see how you're going to fix the dilemma of the baby octopus with your I'll assist them in suiciding. You know, it's just not going to fix the natural problem.
People suffering from terminal painful illness, particularly I'm thinking of cancer.
Right, so what are you going to do for all the animals that get, you know, most of them don't live long enough to get cancer, but, you know, what are you going to do for them? Oh, nothing.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be. There's very few countries on this planet that actually have made that legal.
Well, there's actually none that have made it legal in any useful sense. The last thing you do is, like, somebody who's sick and dying is to create a bunch of red tape and hoops for them to jump through. So that's sort of bogus right there. And clearly it's not up to society to tell somebody when they're done. It's their right to say when they're done.
And it's legal in Switzerland, in a few states.
Well, again, the two subjects really have nothing to do with each other, okay? I mean, assisted suicide for people already ill, which means they've already endured suffering, doesn't prevent suffering. So again, you're just creating the problem, letting the problem exist, and then coming up with a half-ass, incomplete solution. So again, I say, fuck your Band-Aids. Let's go with cure, and the best cure is prevention.
In the United States, and I think Luxembourg, it's legal as well. The first state in the United States to make assisted suicide legal, I believe, was Oregon.
Well, again, it's not assisted suicide, so there's no point in you saying that, because no, it's not what exists. There is no assisted suicide. There's only assisted euthanasia, or whatever you want to call it. There's assisted, there's assisted inevitable death, something or other, mitigation or something, but it has nothing to do with suicide.
I hope I pronounced that right. And that was done by a vote. That was done democratically. I want every country on this planet to have an assisted suicide program.
Yeah, well, again, the choice of recognizing the liabilities of existence and being able to act on that recognition, again, doesn't fix the problem, and it certainly doesn't fix it for retarded people and all these other people who would have to have somebody else act for them, and it just gets... I'm just saying I don't think this is a solution to the problem. And it does nothing, again, to solve the biggest part of the problem, the 99% of the elephant, which is over there in the natural world, which you've just given up on. And I just call bogus on that. So, I don't think you have the answer. So let's do part 2 of this guy, and then maybe we'll do the third video, I don't know. Let's just see what the part 2 is like, since it happens to be here as a link. Okay, refuting. Get to it already.
Welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of Anti-Natalism is a illogical philosophy.
Yeah, right.
Start off by going over the David Benatar.
Start farting. Well, don't do that. But anyway, okay, you know, you can't, you know, if you're going to make arguments about, well, you know, you should at least have sitting up straight, that kind of stuff. Little things like that do matter when you're introducing yourself to the world. I'll try to up the volume here. Give it a shot anyway. Ooh, it sounds loud.
Asymmetric argument. Make some clarification because on a previous video I didn't really go over it. However, my counter arguments are still standing. Premise 1. The present of pain is bad. That's true. Only if life exists. Only if you exist, David. Or I should say Professor Benatar. Be respected.
Yeah, that would be his argument. So this is going to take a long time, I guess, if you're going to take this long to get to the fact that there's a difference between something that's bad and something that's not good. Yeah. And vice versa.
Premise 2, the present of pleasure is good. Again, is good.
Well, again, and that could be argued, okay? Benatar's just giving it the benefit of the doubt that it's good. I would argue that it's merely not bad, okay? It's correcting for a bad circumstance. Most of our pleasures are corrections to a deprivation or a negative condition. So you're only really getting to 0. It's not really a good. It's just a negation of a bad. Negating bad is good, okay? I mean, not being on fire is a good thing. But, okay, it's only good if you had the bad in the first place.
Because, well, you guessed it. We exist. Life exists. Life exists. Value exists. Purpose exists. Meaning exists.
Yeah, whatever. Vague, but okay, let's see what you mean by that, though. Let's see what you mean by meaning.
That's why. That's true. However, such symmetrical evaluation does not seem to apply to the absence of pain and pleasure, for it strikes me as true that, premise 3, the absence of pain is good even if that good is not enjoyed by anyone. That's false.
Alright, so he's saying it's false, that it's a good thing that we are all not on fire right now. He's saying that because you prevent something, let's say I prevent somebody from getting murdered, it's not actually a good thing. Okay, so there's a little girl, you know, living in the hood, and I stop a bunch of drug dealers from shooting their little machine guns and killing her. It's not a good thing because the opposite of it actually happening, her getting killed, didn't happen. So the fact that I prevented it means I prevented the possibility of it being good to prevent the harm. You know, see, because the harm never happened. That would be idiotic. I mean, rationally. Rationally, you understand that if something was going to happen, that would be the alternative circumstance. She would be shot in the head, and mommy would be crying, and the family would be ruined, and everybody would get drunk and go on heroin, and it would be awful. If that reality happened, you'd know it would be bad, and that would be the inevitable consequence of not preventing it. You can't say I prevented it if it wasn't going to happen. If it wasn't going to happen, then I didn't prevent it. So by the very argument, once you say, I prevented harm, that statement already states that the alternative reality would have been. That's the only way those two things have to fit together. You can't say you prevented it, so you can say that you're lying, that you can't prevent harm. You can make that argument. There's no way for you ever to prevent harm. Go ahead and try to defend that. But he's just making the simple argument that in a circumstance where I actually do prevent harm, where harm is actually doesn't happen because of action, and that it would happen without the action, it definitely, inevitably would have been. You can't argue that then. You can't argue that because I prevented it, it doesn't exist. Because it would have existed. And so it's just as real as a value, idiot. And really, this is an idiotic argument. For you to pretend that penicillin doesn't prevent harm, because the harm it prevented was prevented, is just idiotic. Jackass.
That's not even true. That's not true or false. Okay? That's nothing.
Right, so I would just suggest that nobody should prevent this asshole from getting run over by a drunk driver. That would be my suggestion, because he wouldn't think that could really happen. That somebody could prevent something? No, that can't happen. So do me a favor and don't prevent it to validate his retarded philosophy. This will win in the end.
Okay, the absence of pain is good. Again, if we exist.
Well, again, like I said, you can't, if somebody says the word I prevented, you can argue that they didn't prevent, but you can't argue that what they prevented wouldn't have been. That's stupid. Because they can't have prevented it if it wasn't going to be. Jerk.
But he wants to make it out that it's good no matter if there is no life. Just no sentience, just no life.
That's not his argument, retard. Again, I'll come back to this. Okay, I'm back. Maybe I'll just jump through this, right? Because this guy ain't saying anything new. It's the same old arguments. The future doesn't exist, therefore you can't prevent anything in it. Fuck you. Dumb argument. Really dumb.
Unless there is somebody for whom that absence is a deprivation. Why didn't he put that in all his premises? That unless there is somebody in premise 3, unless there is somebody in premise 2, unless there is somebody in premise...
Yeah, well, whatever. Again, he can't say unless there's somebody. He can't say I prevented it unless I didn't prevent it. That doesn't make any sense. You either do or you don't prevent something. There's no a little bit prevented. So how could he qualify preventing besides saying, yes, let's assume something's prevented. That's a good thing. Duh.
That's one. But he only said unless there's somebody in premise 4.
Well, again, if that's the substance of your argument is that when you prevent harm, the harm didn't happen, therefore it has no value because it never happened, because you prevented it. If you want to make that as a logical statement that you're making, that the value of the prevention is therefore moot or negated because you actually prevented it, well, I'm just saying that that's really, 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 really stupid. I mean, can you see where that leads? Like, we didn't need to go to World War II and defeat Adolf Hitler because it was absolutely useless to defeat Adolf Hitler because he was never really defeated, because you can't defeat something because the future would be the same whether you defeat him or didn't defeat him. See, it just doesn't make any sense, shithead. Sorry, but, I mean, this is just a shitty argument. It's shitty.
True. If a person exists, then pleasure is a good thing. True.
Right, and if they don't exist, it's not a bad thing, right? The Martians don't exist. How many minutes of your life have you spent lamenting all the pleasure the Martians aren't experiencing? How much pain or emotional anguish did you feel for all the non-existent Martians who are missing out on bubble gum and, you know, watching the Mets win the World Series or something? right? How much? How many seconds of your life, asshole? And then we can go to Venus and Uranus and all the other planets and do exactly the same thing. And lament all the non-existent civilizations. Boo the fuck who. You see, idiot? It's your own problem. It's your ego problem that's the problem. You think you're actually accomplished. You're winning something. You're accomplishing something. Well, you're not. All you're doing is waiting to die, asshole. And when that finally shows up, when it's your turn, fuckface, you're not going to think this ride is all that swell.
It's simple. What does not exist, what does not exist cannot suffer.
Yeah, the Martians are winning. You just don't know. You're just too stupid to understand. They're winning. We're losing. We're the ones in jeopardy. We're the ones struggling to get our heads above the suffering water. They won. We lost.
True. Therefore, non-existent pain. It's not, no, it's not therefore. It's not a therefore the non-existent pain is a good thing. That's not true. It's not true.
Right. It's better to have the pain, right? Not have the pain is not a good thing. To have the pain is a good thing. That's all you're saying. Does it make any sense? No. It's stupid. You know, look, if life was a benign thing where there was no such thing as suffering, and there was no such thing as suffering imposed on beings who had no interest in playing the idiotic game in the first place, then you could make some sort of argument. But it's not benign. It's a malicious kind of thing. It's malignant. Wait till you have a malignancy. You really won't be doing all this laughing.
Alright, I'm going to go over another question that Antoninus used. Martians don't exist. They don't suffer.
Cool. It's my argument. Cool. I really, it is my argument. I never heard that argument made before, except until I made that argument.
Or have pains like we do. Why can't we not exist like the Martians? Are you serious? They don't exist. Alright?
I don't know what you said. 'Cause this is. Alright? I don't know. You could just try to figure out how you answer the question, right? Because, look, you're just a psychology that needs. You are a need machine, and that's all you are. And you think you're doing something spectacular, but that's just dumb animal thinking. It's not rational or sensible. So again, just explain how it's worse being a Martian. That's all. Explain how it's worse being a Martian. The non-existent Martian. The human that wasn't born. How is the human who wasn't born in some sort of worse condition than I'm in? You won't have a rational answer.
You keep talking about them as if they don't suffer because they don't exist.
That's exactly the point, jackass. It's all win. You take out all the bad. You just wipe out all the bad possibilities, and you're left with no bad possibility. There's no way to make bad when you don't make something that can experience bad. So there's no bad. And now the only question is there some good that's so valuable it would be bad not to have the good? Do you understand? And I've already pointed out that you obviously haven't, through your whole life existence, recognized the absent good on Mars. You're not lamenting it. If you don't lament the absence of a good, it can't be much of a good, can it? If there's no tragedy because the good doesn't exist, then it can't be much of a good. You can't figure that out?
That's not a bad or a good thing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Well, whatever. There's no nothing, okay, in this equation. There's the nothing would just be the absence of the something. So again, nothing is something, in the sense it's the absence of vulnerability to suffering. That's a something, jackass. Immunity from all diseases is a something.
Stop talking about nothing as if it's something.
It's something that can be compared, okay? That's what you do. You have a something, you compare it to the nothing. You say, well, what is the something doing that the nothing's not doing? And now let's see if the something's doing has value relative to the nothing. Well, what's being pointed out is that the nothing is immune to all bad, so it can't be harmed. It can't be in any way have a negative experience. It can't be in any negative condition. It can't be incarcerated. It can't be in deprivation. It can't be in any negative condition whatsoever. It cannot be set on fire. It can't have a plane crash on it in any kind of harm way. There's absolutely a complete immunity to bad. Now let's just figure out, is there a valuable good that it's missing out on? Okay, so let's compare the something, which we call good, and compare it to the nothing. Well, I'm arguing that most of the good you experiences are goods that are basically correcting the negatives that exist. You have a pain, you take an aspirin, you relieve the pain, that's a good. Most of the goods are relieving a deprivation or a negative condition and making you less negative. So making things less negative doesn't sound too terrific, and I guess that's why we're not sitting here crying for the absent Martians, because they're missing out on taking aspirin to get rid of their migraine headaches. Because we really don't recognize life in general as being spectacular. We just think our own life is really important that I fuck that bitch. And that's all we have in our brain, jackass, is your ambition. Your ambition has made you blind to recognizing the simple truth that your fucking fairy tale, this stupid idiotic narrative that you're living, this little Jedi war that you're, involved in the universe, is just a crock of shit. And compared to nothing, it looks really stupid.
That's what crazy people do. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what stupid people do, okay? Stupid people don't acknowledge the word prevention as being a real concept. That's what stupid people do. They don't know what a prevention is. Yeah, stupid.
The anti-natalists do this all the time. They say, okay, I'm going to go back to my first video, where is it an imposition to impose on someone without their consent?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you can't undo that, okay? You can explain why you're justified, but you can't sit there and say it's not. It's quite obviously an imposition, okay? The thing wouldn't exist unless you make it exist. So you're a creator. You're playing God. That's what you're doing. The only thing I'm requiring from you is explain where did you get this right from besides biology? The fact that you have a penis with sperm and you can make babies doesn't give you some right to sit there and say, I'm going to impose life. No, that's a biological function. Goddamn insects do that, motherfucker. I'm saying, where do you get the ethical authority to decide for some new creation? No, this is good enough. The nest is cool, right? Society is all built just right. Everything's nice and pretty. There's nice feathers in the nest. I'm going to lay some eggs, okay, and you're going to hatch, and you're going to like it. I'm going to feed you what I like. I'm going to teach you what I think is meaningful. I'm going to laugh. My little jokes are going to be your little jokes. Well, what, and again, if I argue and state to you, well, what if he doesn't find your sense of humor at all interesting or relevant? And what if he finds you kind of a disgusting, stupid moron? Well, what's your plan B, fuckface? I'm sorry? Well, that's not going to fix his cancer, is it? What if he gets ALS when it's 7 years old, you fucking cunt? What's your solution, jackass? Tough shit, fucker. That's it? Fuck you, idiot. Let's jump a little bit ahead.
Not, is it without their consent? It's not evaluating in the ethical equation. It doesn't even account. Consent does. This just have to do with contract and government and all that.
No, it has to do with action. Okay, that's what the word imposition is. It's an action. You don't have a contract. You're imposing without one, without permission. You're saying, I have the authority, I have the capacity, okay, not only to drive the bus, but to force you into the bus. I'll make you alive, then I'll put you on my bus, and then I'll drive you where I feel like driving. You can't see how there's an ethical problem with that? I'm just saying to you again, this is another simple question. I'm just saying, look, there's no denying the imposition. Just explain where you get your authority from. And if you're going to say nature gave it to me, then I'm going to say you're an imbecile, because we already know that nature doesn't give rational authority to anything. There's nothing rational or logical in what nature does, okay? It makes feeding machines, consuming and reproducing machines that have no ethics, that have no judgment, that have no capacity to understand, to value anything except what is made valuable to their biological function. They don't value things rationally. They value them based on hormones, based on mechanical advantage. Idiot. Why should I resort to mechanical advantage? Why should I get my marching orders from biological function? I have an intelligence. I understand the difference between understanding how a mechanism works and reacting to it. I understand thunder happens. The thunder creates a biological reaction. But I know in my head it's just thunder. It's not. The reaction is biological and physiological and has absolutely nothing to do with any kind of rational response to the fact that a couple of some electrons went buzzing around a little bit too fast and broke the sound barrier. Asshole.
Price of suffering worth having in life. No. The price of suffering is not worth having life. However, suffering isn't the only thing that's taking place.
It's the only thing of any value, okay? Again, the rest of the values are just biological ones, and again, those are negative values. Those are made out of suffering. We suffer loneliness, we suffer horniness, we suffer hunger, we suffer these deprivations that will provoke us to act and to gain our comfort. So it is always part of the equation. There is no other equation but motivation through deprivation, motivation through a negative stick. There's no such thing as a carrot. The carrot is stop the stick. That's it. There's no carrot in front of us. All we do is have mechanisms that we can go to that'll stop us from being whipped. That's it. That's the machinery you're part of. That's the master you're a slave to. And you seem awful comfortable being a slave to a Borg DNA molecule. Not to make it personal to some sort of heritage thing, but I mean, you're just, what's the word for that? You're being a little bit too compliant. You picked the wrong side.
It's a fallacy to say that life is suffering.
Well, whatever. I wouldn't put it that way, but obviously it opens the door to it. You can't figure that part out? Suffering, how do you get to suffering? How does suffering exist? Well, you have to create a sentient organism that's capable of experiencing it. That's how it exists. It can't exist unless you make sentient beings to experience it. That's it. That's how you create it.
It's just a fallacy.
No, it's just nonsense to deny basic function. It's just the basic function of the living organism that once it develops neurology in a brain and that feels as a way of valuing the world, that those feelings will exist now, and that some of those feelings are in the category of suffering or torment or torture, and that's what you create when you create living things with brains.
There's more to life than just suffering. There's pleasure,
Well, again, pleasure is the negation of suffering. So you want to pretend it's not? Well, go ahead and pretend it's not. But that's basically what it is. You're provoked, okay, by the necessity of an itch to scratch it. So everything you do that you call pleasure is usually just some form of itch scratching.
Oh. Again.
Let's see what's so funny.
To prevent it from harm and suffering. Aren't you being illogical? No. Oh.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, suffering's a funny subject. Ha ha ha. Ah, brilliant.
Again, why make out life just to, why make out life just pure suffering?
Just why make out life pure suffering? I don't think he's doing that, but regardless, that's the price of it. And I'm just saying again, if I can trivialize with not even much effort all of the pleasures as just being some manifestation of ego, which is again just itch scratching. You know, it's hardly worth it. It's hardly worth creating the itch so you can have the gratification of scratching it and open the door to torture. So you know, the price you're paying is opening the door to torture, and what's the good you're gaining in this exchange? Open the door to torture, and what's the good I get? I scratch some itches. Sorry, that's a fool's paradise. And I mean that literally, fool.
This anti-natalists, you know, I see some of their videos out there, and you see the videos as like the slaughtering of the pigs and as the animals eating tooth and claw, you know. Let me.
Yeah, or a caterpillar eating ant, or yeah, all this other stuff. But what's again mocking something's suffering. So now your argument is the suffering is trivial. So why are you worrying about it? Why worry about like baby elephant getting eaten by lions while it's still conscious and sentient? Why worry about organisms getting eaten alive and the pain and suffering they endure? Why worry about the fear and the trauma they experience? If you see a bunch of antelope running back and forth and have to cross the river and it's full of crocodiles and they're full of angst and you know, obviously emotionally troubled, that doesn't mean anything. They're just dumb animals. Is that the argument you want to make? I mean, you know, there was a time where people said, oh, they're just dumb animals. I mean, your bigotry is obvious. You're just saying it. You don't have any science to back that up. They're animals with perfectly sentient mammal brains. Mammal brains create emotions. Every feeling you have, other organisms on this planet have those feelings, idiot. They have those sensations, and you're mocking them. You're trivializing them. I shouldn't call you asshole for doing that. I think I'll call you an asshole for doing that.
Let me eat that life.
Right. So if aliens really did come to Earth and scoop little fuckers up like you, okay, and like in the Mars Attacks thing or whatever, stick little probes in you, which is a waste of time, but let's, you know, instead of just throwing you into a grinder or a blender, let's say they tortured you a little first, you know, and they stuck probes in you to suck out your guts and shit, and you went squiggling and worming. I should laugh my ass off. That would be the proper response, would be to just laugh my ass off. Well, actually it would, because see, you deserve it. Okay, the animals aren't mocking your suffering. If lions were smart enough to know that the organisms they're eating are feeling pain and suffering, you don't think they could say, "Ooh, that's horrible," and then they could see you getting cancer and they could say, "Oh, that's, oh man, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, tough luck. That's really bad." You don't think they could feel pain in recognizing the existence of your pain? Yeah, I think they'd probably be smarter than you. Yeah, if they had half a brain, they'd be smarter than you. asshole. Get what you deserve, fuckhead. You know, I wish there was Martians so they could just come here just to whoop your ass. Because you need your ass whooped.
But, or he has to know the kid in Africa, starving, famines, this is all suffering. That's a part of life, but that isn't life.
That's a part of life, but that isn't life. Well, again, you're just keep promising that you have some brilliant argument about how you're doing something really brilliant to justify that one child slowly, over a period of months, being essentially suffocated, slowly having the life wrung out of it. One little misery at a time, one little maggot in its skin at a time. And you're doing something that's worth it. You're worth it. That's your argument. I'm so cool. I'm doing life. Life is so cool. It's worth torturing some little fucking, things, in the African desert. Yeah, go ahead. They're only the Africans.
Okay. And it's our job, if we want to perpetuate life, continue life, we have to follow rules.
Yeah, whatever. Right. To be a bug, be a bug. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm sorry. No offense, but you're stupid. If you think I'm going to take, as a rational thinking, informed person, take my marching orders from my anus or my stomach or my pancreas, well, no, I'm not. I'm going to use my brain, asshole, and I'm going to evaluate the circumstance and ask rational questions about what my agenda should be. Idiot. I'm not going to presume I'm super cool because my penis says so. You're better off talking to a goldfish than your penis, shithead.
That's ethics. That's...
Yeah, and we already saw an example of your ethics. You mocked the suffering of the other organisms. You mocked it. You laughed at it.
We have to, if we want to survive with one another.
Yeah, right. If we want, again, this want word. If reason necessitates, is there some rational argument you can make where it's necessary, besides just gratifying your delusion? We're only making this stupid pie because you're hungry for it. Not because there's a rational reason. There's nothing in the universe saying, make human pie. Nothing. The universe doesn't scream for your existence. It doesn't say, oh, please, 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 more douchebags rocking in their big chair. No. Anyway, let's get done with this already.
Is a illogical philosophy.
Well, I think I've demonstrated where the illogic lies, and it lies with some idiot using the argument from nature to defend action. By the argument from nature, we just, you're better off killing before you get killed. Okay, that's the argument from nature. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the DNA's philosophy, asshole.
Next video I'm going to talk about ethicalism,
which will have no relevance or meaning to you because you mock the suffering of the other mammals, because you obviously don't know shit about biology or the origin of our species.
It's not a philosophy. It's a declaration.
Right, a declaration based on the theory of evolution and the recognition that there's nothing in the Borg agenda of the DNA molecule that has anything, again, to do with a rational determination of value. By rational determination, the thing of value on planet Earth is the sentience, the feeling capacity of organisms. Quite obviously, there's nothing in the natural system that has any appreciation for that valuable commodity. It cares about making devices that consume and reproduce. It doesn't care about moderating or preventing useless or wasted torture. Fail, you know.
I don't want life. I don't want purpose. I don't want...
Again, this is just more stupid argumentation. It's not about a want. It's I don't see. I can't rationally understand. Those are my accusations, jackass. Give me something rational as an argument. I don't rationally understand how you're defending, how you're doing something in your life that is worth torturing a child in Africa to have. Or, for that matter, torturing a goldfish to goddamn have. I don't see how you're doing anything of sufficient merit to justify one sentient thing on this planet being tortured to facilitate it.
Pleasure, I don't want suffering. That's the thing, too. They use suffering as a justification, but...
well, again, if you could live your life benignly on some island where you did not in any way negatively impact any sentient organism, then you might have an argument to make where your life is benign, and it doesn't matter whether you exist or don't exist, like the sun or like the moon. I'm not anti-moon, I'm not anti-Mars, I'm not anti-Uranus, because they're benign. Okay, they're not necessitating the torture of something to exist. So just explain to me how your existence is benign, and then I won't be anti it. But until you explain why you're doing something of sufficient value to justify tormenting and torturing non-consensual victims, then I'm going to say you're a fucking molesting, raping motherfucking cunt, okay, who has no understanding of your ethical jeopardy here. And if I was a god, you would be certainly damned to whatever hell would be, which would be, I'd at least kick you in the nuts.
For not having life, but really, they don't, I don't want value, I just don't want anything. And that's what...
well, again, it's not a matter of what I want, it's what I don't accept. I don't accept your standards of sufficiency. I don't think it's a good game when to win I have to create losers. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't think it's a rational game. So I'm demanding before I approve something that it meets some sort of rational standard. This is not rationally good enough.
They say, my parents impose on me. You wasn't imposed, you wasn't even existing. How can you be imposed if you didn't exist?
Again, it wouldn't be an imposition if I didn't exist. I do exist, jackass. That's the whole point. It's not an imposition if you don't have kids, idiot. If you don't make me, then I don't have an argument, do I? No, jackass. I mean, fuck. You can't even get your own arguments correct.
But I'm going to talk more about ephilism. It's more of a psychological defect than a philosophy.
Yeah, an accusation I'm sure you will not defend with anything called a bit of sensible, coherent logic. I mean, quite obviously it's exactly the opposite of a psychology, in that the whole point of its argument is no matter what my psychology, no matter how good sex is, I can understand that sex is just a mechanism. I'm being manipulated by hormones, by the mechanism of my psychology, by billions of years old mechanics, at least hundreds of millions of years old mechanics. And that's why I have a sensation or a feeling. That's psychology, jackass. Your ego is psychology, jackass. Your delusion that you're worth it, that you're worth torturing some little kid in Africa and starving him to death and tormenting him because you're doing something that's good enough to justify his suffering. Your perception that you're worth it, that's psychology, jackass. Because it's not based on anything rational.
And this is Minton's, Gary's territory right here, so I'm going head on against amend them, and
and you're gonna get so butthurt.
it's just going to be a discussion. No, I'm not going to.
Well, whatever. There's no discussion. Again, you're mocking suffering, and you're in some kind of like everybody knows how cool we are. No way. You're sitting there defending existence without giving me a real defense, without explaining to me exactly